Howdy everybody, good morning. Mark Howell with Grounded Truths LLC here. Today I'm going to do a little talk on what we need to have as beginning prescribed fire practitioners, whether you are talking about joining a burn crew for TNC, government agency, you're a new prescribed burn association member, you're just a landowner wanting to burn, and what are some of the things you need critically that will help you in your endeavors there. So first of all, I'm just going to start off, this is a nice fancy line pack, we'll talk about this here in a minute, but first of all I just want to talk about the things that you should be carrying on your person immediately with you. So first things first, pocket knife, infinitely handy and helpful for all sorts of reasons. You can use it to cut flagging if you need, if you can't tear it for whatever reason. You know, somebody gets hurt, you need to cut their clothes to expose an injury, etc. Just P-cord, cutting P-cord to lash things off, just infinitely useful. Always just have a pocket knife on you. Second thing, a lighter, right? You're going to be burning. What else are you going to need? A lighter. As far as other things that I like to carry with me, so I will have my little, they call this a Misc pocket purse, etc., made by the Pack Shack. This one's probably, God, 15 years old now. But some things you should have with you: notepad, regular ink pen, Sharpie. You'll hear me preach Sharpie a lot. There's a lot of reasons for that. We'll go into that in a minute. I carry the current version of the Instant Response Pocket Guide with me. That's kind of the Bible of wildland fire. This is my old, it's a pocket guide from the Malheur National Forest on prescribed fire operations and resource directions. So how to protect resources as you're preparing fire line, etc., whether on a wildfire or a prescribed burn. Very handy little thing I got. So this is just on your person. Obviously also your wallet and any personal items you might need. If you need like some medication or something that you have to have with you for emergencies, you're diabetic, you need oral glucose, etc., carry that in a pocket somewhere, and there you go. So moving on, do you need a big fancy line pack like this? No, you don't. I'll tell you that right now. No, you don't. Simple JanSport backpack, your hiking backpack, even one of those large camelback carriers that has a few pockets, etc., would be perfectly fine for what you're going to do here. I wear and use this because I do professional fire work, not only in the prescribed fire world, but also in like community wildfire protection. So for me, it's a lot more easier, more comfortable, more familiar just to have regular line gear. So this is what I have. So going into this, and these are all things you're going to want regardless of what you use to carry it, right? So you have your flagging. Yellow and black is standard hazard flagging. For me, pink and black is my fire line, or where I'm going to place fire line flagging. This here is a detachable pack, and we'll go into these here in a minute with a short review on these, but this is a detachable pack called a Hotshot Lid. And so basically the idea here is this is kind of a throwaway medical kit. I have quick clot trauma pad. I have an Olace bandage and an adventure medical kit that this kind of doubles as it's got some meds in it, some basic like ibuprofen, Benadryl, etc. Butterflies. It's a glorified boo-boo kit. Any kind of serious massive trauma stuff, which is really what we're more likely to encounter and deal with on a fire situation, we're going to go to our Olace bandage. Our quick clot would be beneficial also, and I plan on getting an IFAC and mullying that onto my line gear as well for massive hemorrhage control. All right, you'll have more hemostatics, you'll have an additional tourniquets, so that would be very highly useful for that in case of a massive bleeding issue. Going into here, Kestrel, take your weather, right? Headlamp in case we roll into or decide we're going to start early or end late in the day. Mountain money, this is, especially on those long days, you're going to want that for sure. Toilet paper, and then also some wipies. Extra flagging, right? Spare lenses, so if you're wearing, like I have ESS eyewear, the roll bar glasses, that these you can switch out to clear for the nighttime operations. Spare batteries for radios, etc., and another Sharpie. A little bit of snacks here, some Jack Links and signal mirror, and fiber tape. Fiber tape is useful for all the things. You can use it to tie off tools together. It's basically the duct tape of the fire world. And that's really what we got in here. This also has a little map pocket, which I shoved another Sharpie in here just for quick, easy access. So what do you do with Sharpies? That's a good question here that I know you're probably all asking. So what do you do with a Sharpie? Well, if you notice, this flagging is bare. There is nothing on it, right? It's just standard orange flagging. So if I was going to use this for, say, a spot fire, or the pink flagging for a spot fire, right? Well, I'd have to actually take out the Sharpie and write on here spot fire, you know, 100 meters south or 100 yards south. I'm gonna have to actually write that on here. So Sharpie can also be used in case of say you have an injury situation. You can write down vitals on someone's arm. You know, you can write down pulse 65, BP 130 over palp, etc., etc. You could also do on the forehead, if you have a mass casualty incident, you can write, you know, critical, immediate, walking wounded, etc. on their forehead. For triage purposes, there's just basically, these things are infinitely useful. Plus, they'll write on practically any surface you can think of. So, that's it for what I carry for day-to-day on prescribed fire operations. And we'll be rolling into a review. We'll talk about this pack a little bit here in a minute, as soon as I get it recomped and put back together. And we're back really quickly. One other thing that I forgot to mention that you need to talk about when you're talking fire: hydration, right? You need to always be carrying some form of water with you, whether that's in a hydration bladder, Nalgene bottle, etc., etc. But hydration is key in this game. No matter what, it doesn't matter wet, dry, swampy. You could even be on a cool day. It could be 55 degrees and 30%, 40% humidity. After a good couple hours of dragging torch and holding fire, you're gonna want some water. So make sure you always have water on your person whenever you're out on a fire. Keep yourself stocked up on that. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate.